Hey, everybody, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. SmackDown happened. And by the way, for as bad as SmackDown has been since going to 3 hours, this was one of their better episodes. Um, I don't want to talk about just the show itself. There was some good stuff on the show, but, let's start here. The main event. Tiffany Stratton defends against Nia Jax for the women's championship. A lot of stuff happened in this match. Um, this was honestly probably Tiffany's best title defense to this point. It was one of her best matches in WWE. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Jade Cargill gets involved, Naomi gets involved. There was a wicked nasty drop kick to a chair from this was I think it was planned for something like this to happen, but the spot went wrong. Tiffany drop kicks a chair into Nia Jax's face. Nia looked like she was completely out of it. You could hear it. And it sounded nasty. Nia was bleeding. You could see on her social media. It was gnarly. But Tiffany wins after having to hit a second prettiest moonsault ever. And this was terrific. This was terrific. And this is everything that you want to see out of this women's division, because we had a bunch of questions about Tiffany coming out of that match with Charlotte Flair. But Tiffany has really delivered in this title run. And we can talk about Tiffany at another point. But I'm gonna do something here that I never thought in a million years I would ever do. And that's praise Nia Jax. Because when she came back to the WWE 2 years ago, I remember watching with my sister. My sister has a love-hate relationship with Nia for some of her stuff on Total Divas, and then obviously she's got some political and some beliefs that just do not line up with a lot of people, and then obviously her reputation in WWE, where she as a bigger superstar against a division that didn't have a lot of people that could measure up to her physically, was hurting a lot of people, and it just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So when Nia came back, it was a really, really hard sell from Triple H, and he was asking us to put a lot of faith in him with a lot of talented women in WWE to say, hey, Nia Jax is going to be a cornerstone of this women's division. And all that she has done since she has come back is have a great women's title run, win Queen of the Ring, and now she has put over one of the future stars of this division in Tiffany Stratton. And she put over, let's go back to the 2024 Royal Rumble. One of the most unsung things. You guys can go watch this spot, because it's ingrained in my mind for how much appreciation I have for Nia Jax and how giving she has been since she came back. You remember the whole situation where Jade Cargill just basically eliminated her by himself? Jade was trying to lift Nia over the top rope. Nia put her hand on the rope to kind of aid the spot and get her out of the ring. Just little things like that I noticed. So I understand that some people are just never going to like Nia Jax. I get it, because of who she was before Triple H brought her back. But this match against Tiffany Stratton was the latest example of why Nia Jax is one of the MVPs of this women's division. And you might be snickering at me saying, Mike, what the fuck has she done? Guys, look at the matches she had with Bayley. I mean, the one at Bad Blood was a little bit clunky, but the SummerSlam match was great. A large chunk of her title run. I mean, she had a match against Meechin that was great. Like, there was some good stuff that she did during that title run, the run through the Queen of the Ring tournament. Like, her whole run on SmackDown really has been great. And she's done it, and she's consistently been able to get heat. And then, I know this was near the end of the match, but she got beat up at that match at the end, like taking that shot and, coming out of there. And I hope she's okay. I hope she doesn't have a concussion, because that chair shot at the end was nasty. And I hope nobody gets blamed for that. I mean, sometimes those spots just go wrong, but I really wanted to give a lot of credit, to Tiffany Stratton, because I think she's really come into her own as a champion, but specifically, I think a big reason why Tiffany is where she is right now is because of her association with Nia Jax through the summer, when she was the women's Money in the Bank holder, their chemistry there. And then, the cash in at the start of the year, start of 2025. And then, they've had this little mini feud. They go back to it. And this was to me, this was one of the best women's matches of the year. It really was. It was right at Lyra and Lyra and Becky at Backlash was really good. I mean, there was, I mean, obviously, you're never gonna measure up to the triple threat match at WrestleMania between Io, Bianca, and Rhea. But this was about as good of a one-on-one match for the women as you're gonna see. It elevated Tiffany to a different level, and I think, we just need to recognize, man, Nia Jax has gotten significantly better, and she has become a key piece to this women's division. I don't know where she goes from here, in terms of, I think at least in the women's championship picture, she's probably not going to be a factor in it for a while. Maybe she goes back to Raw and you could potentially see her and Io Sky going at it. But Nia's one of the MVPs of this division, man. Like, you got to give her credit for a lot of what she's done since she came back. And it's even the little things in the Royal Rumble, or, the some of the stuff that she's done to put over Tiffany. Like, it's been great. A lot like the Annihilator in her finish, even if it's a little bit cheesy, but there are some good spots in this match. She deserves a ton of credit. So credit to her, credit to Tiffany, man, because like this has turned into a pretty decent title run for her. I'm going to be interested to see where she goes next. But SmackDown was really good. And very, very interesting. And we'll see where everything goes as we head towards Money in the Bank. And well, actually, Saturday night's main event and then Money in the Bank. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.